I'm Chef Rian Macdonald, and thanks for joining me on the journey of the blue ribbon. Today we'll be making my loaded baked potato pizza. We're going to start off our loaded baked potato pizza with our dough. Our dough consists of flour, oil, sugar, yeast, salt, and hot water. Our hot water needs to be between the temperatures of 103 and 107. To test my water, to make sure it's between the temperatures of 103 and 107. We are still a little hot, so what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce you to the ingredients we'll be using for this pizza. The first ingredient that I'm going to talk to you about is our baked potato. This is the highlight of our pizza. My baked potato, what I've done is I boiled my baked potato in boiling water until it is fork tender. Fork tender is when your fork can go all the way through and come out without any problems. You know your potato is ready to go. How I slice my potato is very thin with a chef's knife. You can feel free to use a mandolin at home if you have one, or you can go ahead and do it with a knife. Let's make slices such as this, nice and thin, make them even. Before you want to slice your potato, you want to make sure your potato is cool as well. That makes it easier to handle and easier to slice, just like that. As well as our potatoes, we have sharp cheddar cheese. We have pre-cooked bacon. We have sliced chives, sour cream, which I have put into a squeeze bottle, and then we have ricotta cheese, which we're going to add fresh oregano and fresh thyme to create a compound ricotta cheese to add as our base for our pizza. All that takes is a little bit of chopping of the fresh herbs, and then you go ahead and mix it together with the ricotta cheese. You want to make sure your ricotta cheese is taken out of the fridge at least 10 minutes before you're doing this dish, so your ricotta cheese is nice and soft and easy to work with. It'll also help when you're trying to spread it on your pizza once your dough is done. I'm also going to add to this a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Give it another good mix, and we're ready to go. Okay, we've gone back to our KitchenAid where we have our hot water sitting. We want to test the temperature, make sure it's between the temperatures of 103 and 107. That is a perfect temperature you want for your yeast to be in. We're sitting at 105. We are perfect. So what we're going to do next is we're going to add our yeast. We're going to add our sugar. Mix for 20 seconds. This is what's one of the things that is important for your hot water, is to dissolve that sugar and that yeast to make it one. And that's all you need. Now what you're waiting for is for that yeast and sugar to react to create a bloom, and you'll be able to tell when you look into your KitchenAid it's ready when it's blooming. You can also wait about 8 minutes, and that's pretty much the perfect time for that. After 8 minutes, now it's time to add the flour, the oil, and the salt into your dough. With the measuring cup, I'm going to slowly add my flour into my water on low speed. A little at a time until it all is used. I'm going to add my salt, my extra virgin olive oil, I'm going to turn the speed up a little. I'm going to let this go for about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, and you've noticed that your dough is starting to stick to your dough hook, feel free to stop it and get it out. So we take it up, peel it off your dough hook, take it out of your bowl. There's your dough. Now with your dough, take a bench scraper. I'm going to cut my dough exactly in half, creating two pieces. From those two pieces, I'm going to take, like so, and slowly tuck the outsides in, creating a smooth surface. Flip it over, pinch, and roll it out. Let it sit. We want those to sit for at least 15 to 20 minutes until they bloom. Once you've waited about 15-20 minutes and your pizza dough is bloomed to about this size, you take it, you flip it over on the other side, and you start create the crust of your dough with your fingertips, by pushing and rotating at the same time. Once you have a significant line of your pizza crust, you can begin to toss and stretch your dough. Stretch very gently, making sure you keep your crust line on your wrist. We're going to take this dough over to our pan. I'm going to spray my pizza pan, a little bit of non-stick cooking spray, stress my pizza out on my pan. I'm going to take the edge of my pizza to the last set of holes on my pizza pan. Just like so. Now I'm going to take a little extra virgin olive oil and go around my pizza, adding flavor as well as helping us when we want to spread our ricotta cheese on our pizza. Now to our stretch dough, what we want to take is our ricotta cheese mixture that we made earlier, put it on the middle of our pizza. This is where you and the kids can have some real fun. You're going to use your fingers, which are the best tools that God gave you, and spread your cheese mixture evenly throughout the pizza. Don't worry about getting it perfect, because when your cheese melts, it will spread out evenly. Take the sliced potatoes that we have and put that on top of the pizza as well, making sure I am not going to overlap my potatoes. It is fun if you have the skin on your potatoes. I think that adds a little bit more flavor and color to it as well. But feel free, if you don't like the skin of potatoes, to take that off. Normally it takes about 2 to 2.5 potatoes to completely fill your pizza. Just like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a little salt and a little pepper to your pizza for flavor before we put it into the oven. Now I have preheated the oven to 400 degrees with my pizza rack that I will put on the above level in the oven. A little pepper all the way around the edges, a little in the middle. Salt, same thing around the edges, a little in the middle. Take your pizza, put it in the oven. Okay, we've had our pizza in for about 15 minutes and our crust is nice and golden brown. We want to pull that out off the top rack, set it on our oven, and grab our cheddar cheese, sprinkle that around. Nice and evenly. Now I like a lot of cheese on my pizza, so I'm going to add a little bit more than you normally would. That's just me, that's my personal taste. That's the fun about cooking. You can make it your own. Just like so. I'm also going to top it with a little bit of the par-baked bacon. Put it back in the oven. After putting our pizzas back in with the cheddar cheese and the bacon, we have left it in there for about 10 minutes until our cheese is nice and melted and our crust is golden brown. Now, we want to pull it out of the oven, like so. Take it over to the cutting board. It should slide right off, like that. To this, I'm going to add, this is why I put my sour cream in a drizzle bottle. Sour cream. That. Some chive. So there you go, the loaded baked potato pizza. I hope you enjoyed the demo, I hope you enjoyed the recipe, and most of all, thank you for checking out my blog. And make sure you go down to Smyrna and check out Mandy and Kelvin there at the Blue Moon Pizzeria. But most importantly, make sure you experience your taste buds.